All right, guys, today we are going to show you how to put a skid steer track back on. So it's a lot of the same concept as the track excavators. However, we have a large fitting if you have a greasable undercarriage. So we actually take the whole thing out. That way the grease can come out, not just the grease fitting. There is like a check valve inside this thing that does not let the grease come through it. So you can't just take the fitting out, you have to take the whole thing out. Once you take the whole thing out, you'll see the grease actually come out from the shock that's in there. And after that, the only thing that's happening is this is sliding in and out, okay? So this is gonna slide all the way in, that way it makes it easy. And when you put grease in, it just slides it out, okay? So the guys are gonna put that fitting back in. And what we do is we have these 3 large pipes. I mean, these are actually probably overkill for this size machine. But what it does is one of the guys is gonna start it as we have it jacked up on the rear. On the front, we are just using the bucket. And every other lug of this track, we take these pipes and we put one of these in and we drive it forward. So very slowly, he's gonna start to drive it forward. We're gonna put one in, and then we're gonna put another one in. And then he's gonna put the third one in. Back up a little bit. All right, now we're gonna come back forward. So now when he gets this around, what happens, keep going a little bit, driver. All right, so it's already walking on, see that? And he's just gonna keep driving it. Keep going forward, driver. Keep going forward, driver. And that's it. Then pipes will pop out, and we are in. So we started with the back. We put our pipes in, we slide it on. Now we're just gonna put that grease fitting back in there. And once we put that grease fitting back in, which you're gonna do right now, we're gonna make this a little bit longer than we need to, just so you guys can see it. Hopefully they have a grease gun ready. But they're gonna put grease in and they're gonna make it not super tight to the point where the track is like a piano string. It's gonna have a little bit of room left. Whenever they get done here, it's gonna still have a little bit of flex. And the reason being, you want these tracks to have a little bit of flex. That way, if you hit something stubborn, it'll actually bounce instead of just rip, and it's not fighting so hard to turn. And actually what happens is if you go aggressively tight, your undercarriage is fighting itself to move because it is so tight. So the grease goes in, that idler starts to move forward. As it moves forward, that track will start to tighten. The other thing you want to watch is that those bogey wheels. You want to make sure those lugs are inside them bogey wheels. And that's about perfect where he has it. He goes up a little, down a little, and that lets it have some give. All right, so that's a standard track system. We're going to do a taper track system next for those of you that have a taper track system. Okay, guys, now this is the LT23-2 with the taper track system. How you know you have a taper track system, you have a large drive gear on the rear, you have your front idler, and you have 3 bogey wheels. These are extremely easy. You slide your rear on first, make sure it's in. And we're doing the same thing as the other one. This here just slides in and out of that tube steel, okay? So once you take this and slide it all the way in, you're gonna have plenty of room to work with. On the back side of here is your tensioning nut on these. And then on that tensioning nut, there's a keeper that just goes around the nut. They're gonna go ahead and get this one slid on. One guy will start it. And on these are very, very simple. All you need is one guy to drive forward, and the other guy will actually just apply a little bit of pressure over. As he's applying pressure, that's gonna walk on right like a bike chain. Okay? So here's the how-to on the taper track system. Now the only thing that's gonna happen is they'll tighten up this nut. Once they tighten that nut, it's gonna push that idler out. We're gonna leave a little bit of tension up and down. Once they're done, we're gonna put our keeper back on the end, which has a hex hole here and the keeper, and that's gonna be it. So that's your LT23-2 with the taper track system. The other one's your standard track system. This is the only one on the how-tos of the tracks we didn't get to, so we wanted to get these done for you. You guys have a good one. We'll catch you in the next video.